Hey everyone, thank you for clicking on this video. I hope you like it. If you do, please like, subscribe, and comment below. So this review is of the third spin-off of Law and Order, Law and Order Trial by Jury. And most of these I didn't watch until after they ended, so I didn't find this until years after it ended. I think it premiered in 2003 or 2005. It was a shortened season. It only has 13 episodes. So once Jerry Orbach, aka Lenny Briscoe, one of the one of the originals from Law and Order, decided to leave Law and Order in at the end of season 14. They wrote it in one of his comments that he might go help out the DA's office. And that's what he did. That's what his character did. Unfortunately, Jerry Orbach, and you could tell in the final season and in the 2 episodes that he did in this show, his health wasn't good. There wasn't enough makeup to hide it, and it's sad. But he had enough respect for his character because he played it in the original from season 3 to season 14 so that's like 11, 12 years. And he was able and he willed himself enough to film 2 episodes of this spinoff. And I respect the heck out of that for him. Cause you could tell in his final season, season 14 of Law and Order, you could tell that he was not doing well. And also in his 2 episodes of this, you could tell he was not doing well, but he fought through it and he was able to film those 2 episodes. And just that alone, it's worth watching. In my opinion. Just the Jerry Orbach just had enough respect and he played the character for so long that he pushed himself to film what he could. And I respect that. And just that alone, even if you just watch those 2 episodes, I think it's well worth it. I think the show is decent enough that it's well worth watching the whole 13 episode season. But even if you just want to watch those 2 episodes, I understand that. And yeah, it's a good show. Dick Wolf tried to do something different and just mostly focus on the lawyers of the prosecution side, not the defense attorney side. They focused on the prosecution side, but it's interesting. They do have an investigation within it. Obviously, since Jerry Orbach is in it, I I don't know what they're called. I don't know if they're considered detectives or cops just working with the DA's office. I don't know specifically how it works, but they do explain it, and it's well worth your time, in my opinion. Like even after those first 2 episodes, I still think it's a good spinoff. It's a good show. They also tied in did crossovers with the original Law and Order and SVU. With the Law and Order, the actors from Trial by Jury were not in the Law and Order episode. Only the actors from Law and Order showed up in the Trial by Jury episode. but the Law and Order episode ends on like a major cliffhanger, and it's like, oh, what happened? Oh my gosh! And that's the end of. That's more towards the 3/4 mark end of season 15. Not the season finale, but it's more towards like the 3/4 mark. If you watched Law and Order, you'll know. So the Law and Order episode is not included on this DVD set. Obviously, it was released on DVD. But the SVU episode is, because that ties, they have both tying into it. Ironically enough, with that crossover, you have a guest star of Bradley Cooper. Yeah, he was just beginning to get his career going and all that, and he guest starred in the crossover episodes of SVU and then Trial by Jury. And it's interesting to see him that young. Yes, he was on the show Alias, but this is still 2003, 2004, so he was still in the middle of like the beginning of his career. So it's just interesting to see a very young Bradley Cooper. Another guest star who shows up in Trial by Jury is a very up and coming, very early Jessica Chastain. She's in like 3 or 4, maybe 5 episodes, which is cool. And she has speaking lines. She's not a extra or a background character. Like she actually talks. She has lines, not a lot. She's not a main character, but she has a few. I don't think this is streaming anywhere. It could be, probably, most likely. If it is, it would be on Peacock. But if not, it's it's on DVD. As you can see, complete series. And I'm pretty sure it's, you probably find it pretty cheap, like 11, $12. I could be wrong about that. It might be a little bit more. But I'm sure you could probably find it used for decent quality, like very good or like new, for a decent price. Overall, I think this is a very good spin-off, and I think it's worth your time. Obviously, there are and were better spin-offs. SVU, Criminal Intent, those lasted obviously way more than one season. And others that lasted more than one season. There's one more that lasted one season, but when I get to it, which will be 2 reviews from now, because the next spinoff is from another country, so that should be interesting to talk about. But but then after that, I'll get to that other spinoff, and I don't know what happened with that, but they had a lot of known actors even at that time in that show, and NBC, I don't know, they dropped the ball, kind of like Fox with Firefly. They like aired episodes out of order, and it's confusing. I guess they didn't have a lot of faith in it. I'll get to that when I get to that review. Anyways, Trial by Jury is a very interesting spinoff. It doesn't do 50-50 where it's cops and lawyers. It's mostly just the lawyers' side, but they do have investigators that kind of take the place of the cops. Like they're cops, but I I don't know the word for it because I don't know the system. But obviously with Jerry Orbach in it, and then his partner for the episodes he's in, Kirk Acevedo, he's a known actor. I'm sure if you look at his face, you've probably seen him in stuff. He's been on a whole bunch of stuff. He was in Fringe, and he's been in a lot of movies and shows over the years. They're cops, but they're not. I, I don't know. Anyways, sorry for the rambling. It's a good show. I think it's well worth your time. It's only 13 episodes. And if you ever watched the original Law and Order, I think it's definitely, at least the first 2 episodes, It's well worth your time just to see the will that Jerry Orbach put to film those first two episodes before he died. And I think I have a lot of respect for that. So hats off to him. He created a legend with his character, and I respect it. Thank you for watching. Sorry for this going on a little longer. I know I repeated stuff like here and there. I try to stop doing that, but yeah, I ramble. Anywho, thank you for watching. I hope you liked it. If you did, please like, subscribe. I'm trying to get some more subscribers here. Woohoo! And comment below. Did you watch this when it was on, or did you find it like me afterwards and check it out? And if you did watch it, what did you think of it? Also, do you watch? Have you watched or do you watch any of the other Law and Order shows that were out or are out? Thank you. Have a great day, and I'll see you later.